Hey guys, welcome back to Southern Gal True Crime. I share missing persons, cold cases, true crime in the news, and more. Karla Carolina Rodriguez went missing on October 20th, 1999 from Las Vegas, Nevada. Her case is classified as a non-family abduction. She is an Hispanic female. At the time that she went missing, she was just 7 years old. 3'5" and 49 pounds. She was last seen wearing a black jacket, a blue and white striped shirt, and red pants. When she went missing, Karla had an unspecified medical condition and may have been in need of medical attention. She had black hair and brown eyes. She has moles above her right eyebrow and on her lower lip near the right corner of her mouth. Her teeth are unevenly spaced with wide gaps between them, and they had visible cavities. She does have a surgical scar on her abdomen. Karla spoke Spanish and very limited English. And at the time of her disappearance, her fingernails were painted green. Karla was last seen at approximately 7 p.m. on October 20th, 1999, in the 800 block of Bonita Avenue in Las Vegas, Nevada. She had gone to a neighbor's son's house to play with him, but the neighbor told her to go home. It was getting late, so she played outside alone for about 15 minutes before leaving on her bike. Now, this location was just 2 blocks from her family's home, and it was also near the Stratosphere Tower in downtown Las Vegas. Karla never returned to her house, and she has not been seen again. She was not reported missing until the next morning. Her father spoke to the neighbor who had seen Karla at the house where she wanted to go play with the little boy. Her dad had assumed that she must have gone over to another friend's house and spent the night, and he went back home and went to bed. Now, the next morning, when she still wasn't home, her mother called the school to see if she'd gone there for classes. They told her no, they hadn't seen Karla, and the school principal was the one who ended up calling the police. Karla's disappearance was originally thought to be linked to a debt that her parents owed a former brother-in-law, because a few months before Karla disappeared, this brother-in-law came to Las Vegas and demanded to be repaid. The family ended up giving him around $1,000, but he said that that was only the interest and he wanted more money. So it was theorized at the time that the man abducted Karla in an attempt to extort money from her parents, but he has since been ruled out as a suspect in Karla's case. Investigators now believe that Karla was taken by someone outside of the family, and her disappearance remains unsolved. Now, in 2019, the Las Vegas law enforcement officials and Karla's parents held a news conference asking the public to help find Karla, who at that time had not been seen in 20 years. During the emotional press conference, Karla's parents, Aaliyah Zapita and Ramon Rodriguez, stood on the corner of 6th Street and St. Louis Avenue, along with Karla's older sister, Rosie Rodriguez, and addressed reporters just yards away from the home where they had lived in 1999. "We miss you, Karla," the sister, now 35, said. "Please, someone who has any clue, please let us know. Please contact the police." The last time Karla was reportedly seen, she was leaving a neighbor's yard, which was a block away from her family home. It was about 7 p.m. on October 20th, 1999. Now, when the neighbor told her no, she couldn't play with his son because it was getting too dark for a 7-year-old to be outside. And that's what I said earlier. Karla played outside in the driveway of this home for about 15 minutes, and that was the last known sighting of Karla. And when police began searching for Karla the next day, her bike was found near the neighbor's home. Homicide cold case detective Dan Long said in an interview with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. The day Karla disappeared, she was supposed to go to an English language class at Park Elementary School. The girl's mother told police that she walked Karla part of the way to school that morning, But Long on Wednesday said that Karla may have walked alone. Whatever happened, Karla did not show up for class that day, and her whereabouts for the next 12 hours are still unknown. Karla's father returned home from work around 5 p.m. He thought Karla was safe because she was often left on her own. He left the house again to drop off the family car with Karla's mother, and when he returned about 10 p.m., Karla and her bike still were not home. He talked to the neighbor who reported seeing Karla and assumed that Karla had gone to a friend's house, and so Ramon went back home, Ramon went back home and went to bed. The next morning, Karla's mom showed up at Park Elementary School, hoping that her daughter had made it to class. It was the principal who finally called the police when the adults realized that Karla was indeed missing. Retired Metro Deputy Chief Al Salinas told the Review Journal that, in his opinion, Karla was, quote, a victim waiting to happen. He goes on to say, Dad didn't call us, Mom didn't call us, it was the principal of the school that called us. Those kinds of situations really give me concern. He later added that he thought Karla fell through the cracks. The day after her disappearance, 2 bloodhounds traced Karla's scent to an apartment complex on the 1700 block of Santa Paula Drive, which is near Oakey and Las Vegas Boulevards, which is about a half a mile from her home. This is according to cold case homicide detective Terry Miller. But Miller said that, quote, no items of evidence or value were ever recovered from the complex. With tears streaming down her face, Rosie Rodriguez addressed the news cameras and begged for information, promising not to give up on her sister's case. She says, we're still going to be here. We're not going to give up until we find somebody or someone who has seen her. Ramon Rodriguez, now 57, had tears in his eyes as he held Karla's favorite doll. He told the Review Journal in Spanish that he and Karla's mother now understand the dangers of leaving children unattended. The family, as of 2019, still lived in Las Vegas. Zepeda, now 54, has kept all of Karla's clothes and other belongings, and Karla now has a 17-year-old brother whom she has never met. And this was according to Rosie Rodriguez. She remembered the day after Karla's disappearance as a, quote, nightmare. She thinks a stranger took her sister, but she has held up hope for 20 years plus, that they will be reunited. We believe in our hearts that she's still out there somewhere, and we don't lose that hope, she said. Officials said no substantial leads as of 2019 have come to light. Supervisory Special Agent Elena Atarola with the Las Vegas FBI office said there is now a $5,000 reward available for anyone with information that leads to a resolution of the case. Now, also in 2019, investigators said that the family did undergo DNA testing, which was entered into various databases in hopes of finding a match with Karla. We're here 20 years later because she has literally vanished without a trace. We're urging anyone in the public who has any information that would know the whereabouts of where Karla would be to please reach out, said Lieutenant Ray Spencer, homicide lieutenant with Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Lieutenant Spencer also said that they periodically have different detectives look over the case in hopes that what they call fresh eyes can catch something that others may have missed. Metro Police said that one of the strongest leads the department had of Karla's disappearance was a scent traced by bloodhounds that led them to an apartment building not far from where she was last seen. Apparently, this lead turned into a dead end. The search has extended to other states as well as Mexico. An enhanced photo, and I believe I have the enhanced photo on the slide, was released by Metro. Police and Project Alert, which was affiliated with the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, believe the girl was abducted by a stranger. Now we fast forward to June of 2024, and investigators are now asking for tips regarding Karla's case. Investigators are again asking the public for tips to help find 7-year-old Karla Rodriguez nearly 25 years after she disappeared. Investigator Todd Tumbleson said it is time to come forward now because the family is still waiting to know what happened to her. Karla vanished after visiting a friend's house back in 1999. She has never been found. No one has ever been arrested in connection with her disappearance, and that is why investigator Todd Tumbleson is speaking out now, hoping to generate new leads on Karla. In 2016, Tumbleson was allowed to look at Metro Police files on Karla's case while part of the FBI's Crimes Against Children squad. He still will not call the case a cold case. He says no, because people are actively doing things on it. My understanding of a cold case is that it sits on the shelf because all the leads have been exhausted. I'm not sure that all the leads have been exhausted in this case, so they continue to be investigated. The police has released a podcast revisiting what happened, which also includes commentary from Tumbleson. The FBI has also posted photos of how Karla might look today, along with a $5,000 reward for information, the leads to her, and contact information for people with tips. Karla and her parents had moved here from Mexico, and authorities have interviewed people back there in Mexico. Back in the valley, investigators did look at some possible suspects, including two brothers, and I think this is very interesting, in my opinion, who lived near the family's home in the Stratosphere area. Authorities became suspicious when two bloodhounds traced Karla's scent to the brothers' apartment. The two brothers allowed them to come into the apartment. The dogs hit on the bathroom area. One of the dogs actually jumped into the bathtub with its front paws and grabbed a bath sponge in its mouth, which I think is very compelling for a scent dog. They also smelled that the bathroom had recently been disinfected, and they said that was unusual given the filth of the rest of the apartment, said Tumbleson. He says human blood was found at the scene, but he goes on to say, quote, they didn't have enough to develop a DNA profile. Tumbleson says investigators also looked at California convicted child offender Curtis Dean Anderson, who they did place in the area where Karla disappeared at the time. Anderson was connected to several victims of other crimes. While Tumbleson looked at the case file for any clues, he would not give any information for possible suspects. He said, quote, all the major suspects were deceased. After Anderson's death, Tumbleson says authorities recovered some mats from his jail cell that contained X's in the Nevada desert. Investigators used ground-penetrating radar to search those spots. Tumbleson said, we did find a body, not just the one we were looking for. While many questions remain about Karla's disappearance, Tumbleson is pretty sure someone knows something about what happened to Karla and hopes that information solves the longstanding mystery. He says, quote, so if she is alive, that's great. We would like to at least know that so the family can see her and reunite with her. So it's time to bring that information forward, he said. So anybody with any information regarding Karla's case can call the Las Vegas Metro PD at 702-828-3111. And it says make sure to ask for the homicide section or the cold case group. You can also call Crime Stoppers at 702-385-5555. You can call the Las Vegas FBI office at 702-385-1281. You can also call 1-800-CALL-FBI, or submit tips online at tips.fbi.gov. All right, guys, please give this video a like before you leave. Leave a comment, and please share this video anywhere and everywhere you can, all your social media platforms, to help keep Karla's story out there, her face out there, and she will be never forgotten. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care of yourselves, be careful out there, and take care of each other.